Good evening, everyone. Hey, Ruth.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Welcome all to Authors Up. This is our favorite place to be on Sunday evenings. You have tuned in to another episode of Authors Up here on
All
ALH
right.
Broadcasting, and we're showing live tonight. No, this is not a replay. We are live and in the studio on Facebook and YouTube. Have anything you want to say, Will? Welcome the folks
Well, welcome. I mean, we wouldn't be a show without you, so we're happy that you are here. So, yeah.
Exactly. We are missing our compadre Andrea again tonight, and we wish her well wherever she is. Hope she will be able to tune in. We have an amazing book and author for you tonight. But first, as we usually do, we're going to start our week in review. We're going to start with you, Ruth. What's been going on since the last time we were face to face?
Well, I mean, I've been working a lot and writing a lot. So,
Good.
you've been reading Anna Ruiz, right?
Yes, I love the
Oh,
story.
it
I
is
can't
about to
wait.
get it is about to get interesting because the funeral is finally here and so is the family.
Oh,
So, yeah. And it's just it's true of authors. We will take inspiration from the people around us,
yeah,
and just know that when you're reading about the family members, they were inspired. I didn't
really.
make them up. I didn't make them up. So
For
yeah,
real.
for real, for real. So, but yeah, so man, it's just I've been enjoying it. It's interesting to go from one story to the next, like in a matter of 2 days, and I'm just like,
Right.
I'm staying in character, and I'm like, cool, we'll just keep going. But yeah, so I've been doing that, and my baby came to visit last
Oh,
week, so she is,
oh
oh my God, she is just like personality, all personality. You cannot say that this child just nothing. It is just it was funny because I sent a video to her other grandmother and she was like, "Oh yeah, no, I see the attitude in her
Lord.
face because
For
I was
real.
saying bye. Oh yeah, no, I was saying bye and she looked at me and then she looked elsewhere and she kept doing this like I ain't even studying you. So
Oh, oh. She's like, I don't even want you to say bye. Why are you saying bye?
mm-mm,
Excuse me.
mm-hmm,
Oh
mm-hmm,
my
mm-hmm.
goodness.
Yeah, so she is all personality. She's learned how to say no now, so we have entered that phase. Um, yeah.
And she
So,
knows what it means.
oh yeah, yeah, no. She, unlike mom or dad, again, she will call dad mom, she will call the cat dad. She's got all of those a little bit mixed up, but she knows, she understands what no means, and she
Okay.
uses it very well.
She's
So,
hilarious.
oh yeah, no. Now I do have to. I don't know if I sent you the video, but I do have to. The only other thing I need to work on is feeding her more Hispanic foods.
Okay.
So
Okay. So
because I gave, yeah, she saw me eating a quesadilla and she was like, "Gimme." So I gave it to her. She took a bite and she was like, "Oh, what is
Ooh,
this?" And she's like, "Please."
she didn't like that
So
at all, huh?
no, not that first bite. So we're gonna work on that. That is what we're gonna work on. So
Okay.
because there's a lot of like other foods I need to get her started on, like maduros and
Yeah. Uh-huh.
tamales and
Uh-huh.
all of that. So she'll love it. We just got to work on that. So, but yeah,
Exactly. And that's
yeah.
a wonderful thing about watching her grow. You were able to introduce all that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, and the thing is, she's got such a rich cultural just in herself. I
Yeah.
can say that I
Yeah.
have a multicultural family. She can say that
She
she's
is
multicultural.
multicultural. Exactly.
Between she's Afro, Latina, Vietnamese, and also white. And that
Yeah.
that that
Yeah.
doesn't include everything else that she already is. So I want her
Wow.
to know every
Yeah.
part of that. So
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Oh
And
yeah.
she is
So
beautiful.
yes, yeah.
With all
Yeah.
that other stuff, she is beautiful. We love her. We love her.
Oh
I
yeah,
know
we do.
everybody can tell that when we
Yes.
talk about her.
Yes. Yes. So how was your week?
Well, this is what happened on my week.
Oh, look, 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 look.
Y'all see my hat? I was not able to wear it on my birthday. So I said I'm going
Oh,
to sport it for like 2.5 seconds tonight. This has been a lot has happened this week. You know, my mom is in
hmm.
the hospital. And it's ask everybody to pray for her. You say a word for her. Her name's Lois. And if you watching tonight, mommy, I love you, I love you, love you. So she's still in the hospital and haven't been able to get to her as much as I like to. And then I celebrated my 62nd birthday on Tuesday.
Hmm.
To God be the glory. I have no qualms about saying that I am 62. 62 who? 62 where? But
Uh-uh.
it is
No,
the truth. Like, when did it happen? When did it happen?
look, you've made it this far. Be proud of it. I talked to a lady
Right.
today who was going to be 72 next week, and she was like, I'm going to tell everybody. I'm like, you
I haven't.
go
Okay,
for
because there's some people in my life who haven't made it. So I'm just grateful to God for what He's done
it.
in my
Yeah.
life. And if I don't look like the smoke, that's all right with me. So let me just get off of that. So because I can preach about that one all night long. But it's my birthday, y'all. So if I might put it back on. But in honor of our guest, I think I'll just let it slide until after I read the bio. And
Oh,
but I got
okay.
to show you one other thing I did.
What'd you do?
I cut my hair.
Oh,
I cut my.
okay.
You don't see that? Okay,
Yes,
gone.
I saw it. I just didn't, I
Uh,
like it. I'm a fan of
and
short hair,
it
so.
has a little design on the sides. And I know you can't see all of that. And it's like shaped as a mohawk. I can't show you all of that, but it's like a mohawk going down. It is so cute. And you know what? I got it done on my birthday. I said for my birthday, I wanted to do a little something different, and so I cut my hair and got all the dead ends off. And when
Hmm.
I looked down on the floor and saw all the hair, I wasn't upset. It felt freeing to let it
Hmm.
go. So I go
Hmm.
let the wigs go, and so I just tell anybody out there, listen, let it go, set it free, let the dead weight get off of you. So see, that'll preach too. So all right, I'm gonna behave myself tonight, but I'm just in a very good mood because we have a fabulous book and author waiting in the wings. And so let me put my glasses on, and I'm going to read our bio for tonight and tell you all about Johnathan L. Turner. Johnathan writes faith driven fiction that explores the quiet battles of the soul. Blending supernatural storytelling with emotional truth, his work invites readers to wrestle with doubt, grace, and redemption. The Divided Soul, which is his debut novel and where we're going to talk to him about tonight, was born from a love of layered characters, spiritual honesty, and the belief that stories can help mend what's broken. He is a storyteller, creative visionary, and passionate observer of the human spirit. He is a devoted father to his son Johnathan and daughter Brienne. He draws inspiration from the struggles and beauty of everyday life, infusing his writing with emotional depth, spiritual inquiry, and unwavering hope. With a background in healthcare coordination, community advocacy, and labor relations, Johnathan brings a grounded, justice minded perspective to his work. He has championed the needs of vulnerable communities, supported workers through conflict resolution, and developed systems that reflect fairness, empathy, and inclusion. Now, through The Divided Soul, he explores the fragile lines between faith and doubt, light and darkness, presence and loss, challenging readers to sit with discomfort, embrace their humanity, and rediscover the divine within. Whether crafting poignant stories or capturing meaningful moments through his photography, Jonathan seeks to honor the complexity of the human experience. His work is a reflection of a life lived in pursuit of truth, healing, and the sacred bond between faith, purpose, and justice. Now, y'all sit with that for a few minutes, and we'll be right back, and we'll be able to talk with Johnathan about his book, The Divided Soul. Be right back.
Hi, Jonathan. Welcome.
Hey,
Welcome
ladies,
to the
how are you?
show.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Welcome,
thank you,
welcome,
thank you.
welcome.
Thank you very
Yes, we
much.
you're welcome. We are so happy to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get started.
Yes.
Tell us about your book, The Divided Soul.
Hmm. That's a really it's a kind of a loaded question. So I'm gonna tell you a story.
Okay.
Okay.
All
The
right.
Divided
We love
Soul.
stories.
The Divided Soul is a story that I was wrestling with for maybe 10 to 15 years before I even wrote this version. The initial version of the story was called God, the Devil, and Bob. It was a satirical retelling of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Uh, in this story, your three main characters were God, who played a mime, and I'll explain why, William, aka Bob, and the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So the premise of the story was that William was a small child and his mother was dying. So those elements still stay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he didn't understand what was going on. So his family begins to tell him, hey, pray for your mom and God will make her better. So everyone's
Mm-hmm.
telling him this. So William pours everything that he has into praying for his mother. Unfortunately, she still passed. Not
Mm-hmm.
everything was
Right.
explained to him. So during the funeral, he curses God.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
God puts a pin in it, as it were, and doesn't really, it just puts a pin on it. So years pass by. William is successful, but William's also very anti-Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Anything specifically that deals with faith or faith-based, he automatically champions the cause against it to try to destroy it, disrupt it. So one day, God decides to do what he said he would never do again, which is flood the earth.
Mm.
But he says he's going to give humanity one last chance by choosing a champion to champion humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He chooses William. And he appears before William as a mime, in a full mime get up with the mask and everything. And he begins miming to William, but in William's head, he can hear the voice of God, but what he sees is a mime moving. And people ask me
Right.
for like for the longest, why are you doing that? I said, well, if you know anything about minds, you have to watch every action because every action is a reflection of a story or an element of a story. You take your
Mm-hmm.
eyes 1 second off of that story, you miss the message.
Right.
The same thing with God. A lot of us ask God for things to speak to us, and sometimes we take our eyes off the ball, as it were, and we miss it. So I was struggle for years to write that story because that was in my mind. I was
Wow.
like, this is the story I want to write. This is what I'm going to
Yeah.
do. It's going to be a comedy. It's going to be funny. I'm going to retell the story of the Bible. And then I stopped for years. And
Okay.
then when I started to pick the story back up, God spoke to me and led me in an entirely different direction.
Oh,
The
wow.
direction that He led me in was to create something that's more relatable to everybody. We all have
Mm-hmm.
suffered with loss. We
Mm-hmm.
all have suffered with broken families. We all have suffered with trying to find ourselves or aspects of ourselves. And so through that, I began writing this journey, a journey of faith, a journey of trying to heal what's been broken,
Mhm.
And sometimes you don't even know what you broke, but you
Right.
can see it broke. And so I poured all of that and experiences that I've had in life and even some of my struggles into this to make this story. And hopefully, if nothing else, people can find an element of themselves in the story. That's really what I wanted. I wanted people to look at the story and see, I can see myself in some of these situations. And in that, maybe those elements test your faith and you reconnect with your family or you reconnect with God and kind of
Right.
move from there.
That is awesome. And I have to say, full disclosure, I did edit and help you with the publication of the book. So, I got to read it in the version that you gave to me. We got to work through it and get it to this point, which to me, it is an amazing book. And I don't say that about every book I read. But to me, even the bits that you might not think are relatable, to me, your character of, I believe it was Emily, the
Mm-hmm.
sister, to
Mm-hmm.
me, she was most relatable, and we had
Mm.
conversations about her as well because she was very sisterly and not necessarily in a good way. So, and the thing is, she was doggone, going to drive, she was very headstrong in that it's not fair.
Right.
Yes.
William gets to come in and be the hero in the last moment, and I've been here the whole time. And to me, I've not been where William was. I've not been, where Dad was. But to me, I've been where Emily was, and just seeing her, how she was acknowledged, and how she worked through the situation. To me, I will say that, I believe every part of your book was relatable. So
Thank you.
Yes.
I wanted to
Yes.
share that part.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Yes, yes. Beyond that, I have to say my favorite characters though were Ravenna and Rashid, who literally played the good
The
and
angel
bad
on the
on the
shoulders.
A
shoulder.
good or bad
Yes,
angel.
yes. And and the fact is, I have to say this because you and I again had this conversation. I think it is very important that you, as a black man, write this book. That was my encouragement to you because I think, a lot more of the younger generation who look like you need to
Hmm.
see you doing this.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
when you were picturing this, did Rashid look like Rashid? Did Ravenna look like Ravenna when you started writing this?
So, yes, I always just wanted Rashid to be black
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because that was something that was relatable to me. Right. I read a lot. I read a lot of fiction, science fiction, comics, graphic novels. So I intake a lot of different sources. One of the things that I wanted to do as a author and is make the story relatable in
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
all aspects. So I made Rashid black. I made Rashid have locks because those are things that are very relatable to us. How
Right.
often have we seen or talked about angels of different creeds and colors? We
Mm-hmm.
haven't. So I was like, let
Right.
me, well, not to my knowledge. So let me put this in my book because that character, I wanted that character to be as he was, which is more or less a advocate, a
Right.
counselor, not someone who's like, and that was another essence of the book that I wanted to not do. I did not want to create something that was preachy
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to touch on elements of the church, but I did not want to go full on church as it were and make people go,
Right.
Lord, here we go. Let me close the book now. Let me close the book now.
Oh, you definitely did not do
And so,
that.
and that was my goal. I want to have elements of the church in there, elements because my faith is very important to me.
Right.
And I wanted to have elements of that represented. So I put Rashid to that degree. Now, here's the other part. Ravenna is the polar opposite of Rashid. And when I started thinking about that character, I wanted I wanted to create something that was unique, which is that when I look at the devil, it's never, and as it's been explained, it's never about telling you what to do. It isn't.
Right.
It's
Mm-mm.
about making everything you do feel like it's okay.
Right.
Right.
It's you was going to do it anyway, so why not? That's how you really felt about it. It's okay to do it. It's more or less like that friend who's constantly encouraging you to do something that you know you shouldn't do, but for
Right.
some reason you feel like because you said, and throughout the book, and I think throughout life, part of the thing that we have to deal with when we have those moments, and kind of like when William had it, is that we have those aspects where it's not just a once and done thing. This
Mm-hmm.
is a
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
repeated thing that she constantly did throughout various sections of the book. And it's generally in the moments when they find you at your weakest or your emotional weakness or
Right.
just some strife or turmoil in your life that they begin to go, let me just poke this just a little bit. Let me poke that just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. Just a little nudge. Nothing super flashy, nothing super this, super that. Just that little nudge. I was right to be mad and angry. I was right
Mm-hmm.
to talk to you that way. No,
Right.
you in reality you're not. But so those were kind of some of the elements that I used to make that because I was like, I want to have Rashid be calm, cool, collective, and I want her to be kind of sassy and a temptress. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I chose a temptress was because I thought that would be unique. It's just something to create a different continuing that parallel differences. He's more calm, steadfast.
Right.
He looks like a nice gentleman. She looks like, wow, everyone's gonna watch her walk in the room. Everyone's like, hey. And she
Yep.
draws that whereas he can walk by nonchalant, when she walks by, everything watches.
Yes.
So just
Yes.
that was kind of my idea.
No, I think you executed that really well because again, those were two of my favorite characters just because they weren't what I won't say what you expected, but they didn't follow the tropes and what everyone else has put out there. You know, the devil doesn't come and looking at the like the devil, or else you wouldn't
Exactly.
pay. You know, you wouldn't
Exactly.
pay him any heed. So Ravenna looking the way she did with her little, heels clacking on the hospital floor. Yes, no, I think she was probably very successful in what she did. So, and what I loved about it too was that you hinted at a backstory between the two. So,
Yes.
and I know that there might be a prequel.
Yes. So there is a prequel in the works that
Okay.
will focus specifically on those two characters
Okay.
and their
Ooh.
relationship
Yes.
and how it started, how it, the middle, and how it kind of came to where they're more or less interesting rivals, is the best way to put
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No, and I do believe I believe it's going to be an excellent read. Not even interesting. It's going to be excellent read because again,
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Victoria says it, but I'll say it now. Get the book
Let's get
because
the book. That's it. That's it. Get this book.
you will enjoy. You will, and it's not as much that you will enjoy it. You will enjoy the book, but you will also enjoy the journey that it takes you on. And I think that
Yes.
that is important because oftentimes you start reading a book and you're like, okay, this is interesting. Let me keep reading. Let me keep reading. By the time you get to the end of it, something has touched you, something has impacted you, and you
Right.
may not know it then, but you will know it at some point, and you'll be able to go back and go, oh wait, I read it in that book, and this is why my life can be different in whatever
Exactly.
way. So
Exactly.
yeah, I would say, kudos.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Victoria, what you got?
Well, I got a lot. I got a lot. Well, Ruth already said it, so I'm gonna say it again. Get the book. This is a story, y'all. This is a story about William and how he returns home. And I was telling you guys before the broadcast how it touched me, and I said, okay, I'm gonna try not to cry tonight, but I had to actually stop reading the book because William's character, he comes back to see his mom who's dying, And my mom happens to be in a hospital right now. And so the scene when he comes in and how he feels, about
Mhm.
not being able to see his mom or not having been there, that guilt just and so listening to you, Johnathan, talk about how the story was going to be and now the story that actually is, how did that shift for you? I know you said you just kind of felt it, but how did you begin to form these characters in that shift? Where did all this come from? Because this book, and I'll just tell everybody, this book has everything you want. It has a little mystery, and that supernatural flavor. It has that love interest in there, even though we didn't get a kiss or anything like that. But no spice in
No,
there.
Victoria.
We didn't get that, but but you get that love element there. It just has everything I love in a good book. So talk about how you got that this story and these characters from what you said, God and Bob.
God, the devil, and Bob.
Bob. As Will takes
Uh,
on he's on a journey. He really is.
he is. So I went through a very poignant point of my life where I lost my faith.
Mm,
And in that losing of my faith, someone who was really close to me, um, uh, me and me and my best friend, actually, he's the one who wrote the foreword of my book, Franklin Ruff,
mm-hmm.
uh, Bishop. He, his wife, her name was Makiba Ruff, and she was my big sister. And I loved her with every fiber of my being. And
Wow.
she did the same for me. And she showed me love, respect, chastisement, the
Wow.
entire 9 yards. She unfortunately passed during COVID.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. And she was more like a sister for me, but I'm very big about using emotions. So as I
Hmm.
went through my turbulence and began finding my faith again, and I began drawing on elements of my life.
Yes.
And here's the secret that I believe most writers do. Most of the characters that you meet that are really interesting are aspects of themselves.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
I started pulling on that, and a few other people dear to me passed during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I drew that emotion of because we had lost connection for a while. And when I found out, I was devastated.
Right. Right.
And aspects of William are aspects of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to imagine how would I feel walking into a room seeing her laying in the bed right now
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
in a coma, and I had not interacted with her 10, 15 years. What would I feel?
Right.
And I wanted to connect that with people. I wanted people to say, I have walked in those shoes,
Right.
and I know exactly how that feels. That
Wow.
emotion, that burden, the heaviness, the deep breaths you take inwardly. And sometimes, you're in that situation, you're totally awkward because how do I act?
Right. Right.
How do I, the family's looking at me like, why are you here? And you're having to go, I'm trying to be here to help support.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Right. You thank you so much for your transparency
Oh, you're welcome.
and your answer is why we do this show. You know, we love to hear the author's voice and the whys behind such a story. And your story is one of those. So it is an absolute joy to be
Thank you.
able to talk to you tonight because I really enjoyed this book. I did see a lot of myself in some of those things. And it's no we've had no secrets here on Authors Up. I see a therapist myself, and I take medication myself. And so for you to include in the book um William's journey with his mental health and his seeing the angels Like we know, right? But he's thinking, am I seeing things? Am I really cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? So I appreciate so much that you added that into this book. And can you talk about that a little bit? How
Sure,
mental health is such a serious thing, especially in our community, our Black and Brown community.
it is. So, so I'll talk about my age group. So this
Mhm.
year I'll be 55. I'll be
Okay,
55 someday. Um,
happy belated early birthday.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But in my age group, emotional intelligence wasn't something that was focused on.
Right.
Mental health, suck it up, push through it,
Eh,
wasn't a focus. This is why we have so many Black men of my age group and lower emotionally erect, because the world has shifted and changed where these are now prominent things that we have to be aware of. But so many men have never been given the equipment
right.
to
Mm-hmm.
deal with those emotions. One of the things I had to, because I did go to therapy, one of the things I had to learn in therapy is how to be able to express my emotions. So, how I was taught, sit there, be quiet, be
Right.
stern,
Right.
you're fine. That's not how you express. That's actually more of a negative flaw than a positive one,
Right.
because we should all be able to express how we feel. The point of when we're doing our expression is, how do we do our expression? It's
Right.
like a personal pet peeve of mine. I hate people who say I'm brutally honest. No, you're just brutal.
Yeah.
You're just brutal, and
How
you're
about that?
using honesty as your coping mechanisms to say what you want to say.
Right.
You can be honest to a fault without tearing someone down, without
Exactly.
destroying someone, and still get every point that you're trying to convey across. You just have to use your words.
Right.
Words matter.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. Say it again for the people in the back.
Words matter. Use your words. So I wanted to touch on those elements because in my mind, we touch on them lightly, but we don't really touch on them how so many men have grew up in this style of living, and today, this very day, do not know how to express love.
Yes.
Watching I give my son's mother all this credit, because one of the things she taught me, because when my son was little, I played football. So of
Right.
course my son would play football.
Mm-hmm.
Not nothing out the side of the park. But one of the things I had to learn was my son didn't like football. I didn't care. You still going to play. I would see my son was young. I would see my son, like many other Black sons, out
Right.
there crying. He's full blown having a moment, and I'm yelling like all the other Black fathers, suck it up. Why are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. Go. Not realizing, and she pulled me to the side one day and said, you got to let him express his emotions. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to create in him what you don't want in you.
Woo.
So
Mm-hmm.
when we start seeing all these little monsters running around,
Woo.
we have to look at what emotion, how are we equipping them? Are we yelling at our children as a form of communication? So instead of me pulling you to the side, no, I don't want you to do this. Here's why. Are you cussing your child out and yelling and saying, this is why you shouldn't do it? And then you go, all right, 25 years later, you're a perfect guy for a woman. No, you're not. You're not. You're going to
Woo.
be an emotional wreck until you come to a point, and I came to a point where everything kind of crashed, and we have those moments, and
Right.
it's
Mm-hmm.
okay to have those moments. I hate that emotional intelligence or seeing a therapist has this nasty stigma in our
Yes.
community.
Yes.
Anything to help us, for some reason, we stamp it with, that's terrible. Go to the
Right.
doctor. Mm-mm,
Right.
no. Why would you do that? I don't know. You have hypertension. You're dying. Maybe some medicine would kind of help change your. No, no, no. I'm gonna drink some. In Michigan, we call it Vernors. It's just stuff to not really help with
Yeah.
what needs to be helped with.
Right.
So,
Right. All right. Thank you so much. And before I ask you to read, I want to talk a little bit about how William's journey. He
Mhm.
began the novel running from his pain and just avoidance, and then he's literally running, you know, forward after he's gone through the journey. Was that contrast intentional, or how did you come up with that part?
So that's going to be me again.
All right, okay, all right.
So for a long time, I ran from a lot of things because that's what I thought was okay to do. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
deal with the situation. So emotionally, I pulled myself away from it and I ran from it. And I had to learn that that is not how you resolve an issue or a problem.
Right.
What it actually does is, in those moments, we create more tears and wounds in the individual who may have been trying to help us, who may have been trying to communicate to us. And what we're doing is we're damaging not just ourselves, but
Mm-hmm.
we're now affecting other people because of investments emotionally they may have in us that we're now going. And we've initially had some type of emotion, like we're rapiding or mirroring their emotion. But then when something comes too difficult, we're like, okay, I'm cutting it off. I'm done.
Hmm.
And we leave them. Now there's this void, and we don't realize the damage that's done to that person. So for those people who I've heard, let me apologize. Sorry. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but that aspect of William running from those things were aspects of me because
Wow.
I ran for a long time. Funny
Wow.
story. So I stopped doing and interacting with my family for a long time. So this year, I'll go back to God again. God touched my heart and told me, react with your family. So this year, I helped plan a family reunion cruise. One of the best things I had since sliced bread. So,
Oh, yay.
so, but now going back to the reconnection part. So through therapy, I learned that emotions are a good thing.
Yeah.
We give them bad names, but they are. You should be able to
Right.
sit there and cry if you want to. I don't care if you're
Yes.
man, woman, or child. If you have a moment, guess what? You have a moment. But once your moment is over, you need to be able to talk and express yourself and
Exactly.
express why you did it or express why you're upset or what's going on for you.
Hmm.
And through that, through therapy, through my faith, through healing, I was able to start running towards things that in the past, emotional interactions, whereas in the past, I'd be like, no, that's too heavy for me. I'm out. Like doing this interview would have been one of those, yeah, thank you.
For real?
Oh yeah, here's the funny thing. I'm really a shy person. I keep to myself.
Wow.
But when the moment requires it, I step into it because
Hmm.
how else do you
Right.
get anything done? You
Right.
can't get
That's right.
anything done by running.
Amen.
Sometimes you have to stand your ground and lean into it or run towards it to get it.
All right
Hmm.
there. Okay, we're gonna pass the plate, pass the plate. Because he's dropping those gems tonight. Well, we also before we the show, we did ask you a little bit if you would read a little bit of your book for us. Would you do that now? Read a little bit?
Sure. Let me put on my reading voice.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right. So I'm gonna read a little bit of chapter one. How much do you guys want me to read?
I mean, few paragraphs. Just end it wherever
Okay.
you think is intriguing.
Okay. The phone buzzes on the granite countertop, a persistent vibration that cuts through the oppressive stillness of William's apartment. Outside, the city sprawled in glamorous splendor, towering skyscrapers, glowing billboards, and the endless stream of headlights winding like rivers of light. The world outside was alive, bustling, thriving. Inside, silence passed down like a heavy blanket. William leaned against the counter, the kitchen island. I'm sorry, William leaned against the kitchen island, arms crossed. The soft glow of the under cabin lights reflected on the countertop, casting shadows that felt heavier than they should. His phone buzzed again. The name flashed on the screen, making his stomach twist.
Mm.
He let it ring. Another buzz, then another. For a brief moment, the hum of the city outside seemed to falter, as if time had hesitated before the inevitable. The phone buzzed again. His father's name glared at him from the screen, sharp and accusing. He stared at it, unmoving, as if ignoring it could erase whatever news awaited on the other side. Months had passed since months had passed since their last conversation, and even then the call had been brief and strained. His father never called unless it was unavoidable. The phone buzzed again, its vibrations grating against the granite. For a split second, William thought he heard something else, a distant hum, a low and resonant, like a voice just out of reach. A chill brushed against his skin, subtle but present, a phantom sensation. He shook off his nerves. He inhaled, glanced towards the window. The city outside shimmered, but the light seemed colder now, distant. And I'll stop there.
Whoo, child. Keep going. Keep going. Wonderful. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for
Thank
that.
you.
I do have another. I have a lot of questions, but we don't have
Okay.
time for all my questions. But what I do want to ask is, what do you hope um, the readers, or what would you say to someone who's carrying the grief and guilt like William? What would you say to somebody out there who's carrying those things tonight?
I would say that in those moments, I can relate to them.
Hmm.
You feel like there's nothing but darkness around you, like there is no light. But that's the beautiful thing about God and faith. God only needs a speck of light, a
Mm,
speck of hope.
Mhm.
And it's with that speck, that hope, that you'll be able to climb out of the darkest situations, situations where you thought, I never walk out of this. I never see myself doing this. I never will imagine being able to do these things. But you have to have hope
Mhm.
and allow those people who God sends into your life in those moments to help feed that hope.
right.
And that's something I would advise. I would say, I hope that those individuals who read the book and find elements of the book that touches themselves find hope, because we all need hope. We all need belief.
Yes. Okay. All right. I'm a little choked up, but I'm trying to push through it. Okay. All right. Whew. This is definitely one of those books that affect. I'm telling you, I had all the emotions reading through it and going through what I'm particularly going through. You know, my mom and the death scene. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to get too much away, but there's hope there. There's hope
Yes.
there, and it's just so beautiful. And I'll tell y'all, we can't touch everything, y'all, in our 45-minute interview, but this is definitely one of those books that you want to get, and I hope that you will follow Jonathan in his author journey. I can't wait till the next couple of books come out, because it's just a story that you want to follow, because it gives you hope. It gives you hope, and it also lets you know what's like kind of going, that you gave us that little peek of what's going on behind the scenes, and how God fights for you. I'm telling y'all, Get the book. Get the book. Get the book. All right. Like I said, I have a lot more, but I know we have to end in a few minutes. Jonathan, please tell our viewers how they could get in touch with you if they have any questions about the book, and where
Sure.
could they find The Divided Soul.
So you can get in touch with me by going to my Facebook page. You can go to it's Jonathan Turner on Facebook.com. So unlike most authors, I did not go out and just like, let me just build this massive page. I'm like, well,
Okay.
no, I'm an indie guy. So just you can reach me on Facebook and then we'll go from there.
All right.
So
All right. You got a new follower. I'm about to follow Ratchet now. Mhm.
thank you. Now, if you want to do a movie or a screenplay, we can talk. Uh,
I could see this book being a movie. I really can. I really can. I read in Technicolor anyway.
So you can actually get the book from Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart. You can order it online. Most retailers, you can order it through them to get the book.
Okay.
So please, 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 with pretty please, order the book.
Get the book. Yes.
Get the book. We'll definitely be giving you a review on Amazon because it's worth it. It is worth the read, and thank you. I cannot wait. I mean, you gave us at the end of book one, he gave us a preview, y'all, of book two. I'm telling you, I'm ready. I am ready. Thank you so much for being with us. Oh, we really appreciate you taking the time to come and talk about your book and your story. And again, thank you for your transparency. It
Oh,
really
thank
helps
you.
me understand the book even more after talking to you and knowing that you have put your heart into it. And it shows. And if I must say, debut novel, you got about 5 or 6 books somewhere. No, this was not your first book. No, sir.
No, no. Funny story. I've been writing since I've been in high school, and my
Okay.
daughter, that's is actually a trait my daughter does too. Now, so I've been writing for the longest, but I could never get over the hump. And the hump
Okay.
was me.
Uh, come on. Come on.
So
Yep.
after everything, and I kind of refound myself,
Yeah.
and I'll keep this short. One of the biggest things that I've always needed in my life has been a foundation, somewhere I can call home, somewhere I can plant my feet.
Yes.
For a long period of my life, I did not have that. So because I did not have that, I wasn't able to write.
Understood. Understood.
But once I found it, I was able to pull from pain, as they say, and
Look at
create
that.
this.
Look at that. Look at that. And your pain definitely has turned into a wonderful purpose. So I thank
Thank
you.
you.
I thank you. And I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead, Ruth.
No, I just want to reiterate, Jonathan, thank you for coming on our show and sharing your story with us. So I think your book is very impactful, and like Victoria says, everyone should get the book.
Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to
Mm,
thank you, ladies, for the invite, and I
You're
really
welcome.
graciously appreciate this chance and this offer. It's not every day that you
awesome.
get someone who says, "Hey, we think your book's good. Let's do an interview."
Aw.
So
Well,
I
we
No,
would.
that's right.
graciously
You
appreciate
take
that.
you take care of that. You take every opportunity you get. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
I look
yeah.
forward to the next book, and I would definitely say you got to come back because the next book, y'all got if that little preview got me going. So when is the next one coming out?
Huh?
When's the next one coming out? Huh?
Huh?
Huh? Huh? You can
So I
you
will
can
say
hear.
that here's what I'll say. So I go in spurts. So I've drafted out my first draft version of what I'm like,
Okay.
I want this to be this of the second book.
Okay.
And for the people who like Ravenova and Rashid, I've drafted novelettes of them.
Nice.
Wow.
So everything is rough. Nothing's like it's done. It's like what is this boy doing? I don't know, but I had an idea, so I wrote it out and kind of fleshed it out and played with it a little bit. So, but don't worry, when it's ready to go, I'll be touching my favorite editor.
Well, I
All right.
I
All
just hit my
right.
friend request, so I'll understand. I'll know. I got you. I got you. We here. We here.
All right. All right. Well, I guess we have come to the end of the show. So, Jonathan, again, thank you. we are excited, and we want to say, if you have, anybody who would like to see the show, we will do replay on Saturday.
Okay.
You can go to our website for more information, authorsupshow.com. You can see where you can follow us. We are on, no, not Twitter, TikTok. We are on TikTok. We are on
Yes.
Facebook. We're on Instagram. So, yes, follow us and stay tuned for more
Yes.
shows.
That's
So I'm
right.
really bad at this open and closing.
That's all
I
right.
can talk in
We will
between.
have
So
another author for you next week.
yes,
Join us next
yes.
Sunday at 7 p.m. for another exciting episode, because you never know what happens when you tune in to Authors Up, right?
All right. All right. Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Night, Bronze Girl.
All right, hold on.